If you celebrate Christmas, then you probably have your own family traditions that have been passed down from your parents, and there is a good chance that those around you are doing something very similar. But not everyone celebrates the season in the same way. Christmas traditions and celebrations are a lot like snowflakes, and that there are not two that are ever really the same. What may be normal for one culture may seem strange to another. In this video, we will have a look at some of the most bizarre Christmas traditions from around the world. We have all heard the phrase, cleanliness is next to godliness, but in Guatemala, they take that seriously. Many residents believe that the devil and other evil spirits live in dark and filthy corners of your home. Because of that belief, they spend the week before Christmas sweeping, cleaning, and piling trash into a huge heap outside. After that is all completed, they then place an image of the devil on top and the whole thing is set on fire. It's called La Quema del Diablo, which means the burning of the devil. Guatemalans believe that they are burning the bad from the year and then starting a new year from the ashes. Ukraine has a unique way to celebrate Christmas that you may have seen before. They like to throw an artificial spider and web on the tree in addition to more traditional decorations. This tradition is said to have come from an old poor woman who couldn't afford to decorate her tree. When she woke up on Christmas morning, she discovered a spider web that had been covered in frost, giving it sort of a sparkle. This Christmas tradition is more about having good fortunes and not about poor housekeeping. At some point, we will all lose a loved one, and oftentimes it can really be felt during the holiday season. But people in Portugal have figured out a way to deal with that loss. During Cansada, the traditional Christmas feast, families will sometimes set extra places at the dining table for deceased relatives. In some areas, they place crumbs on the hearth as well. By doing this, they believe that good fortunes will fall upon the household. It's a tradition that keeps those you love close in your heart. If Batman has Robin, then why can't Santa have a sidekick? That is a dilemma that the Vatican has tried to solve. Santa's little helper is actually a witch who is called La Befana, and she delivers presents to kids in Italy. As the story goes, the three wise men invited a witch to join them to see baby Jesus. She said she was too busy, and this legend was born. Czechia has a custom that is uplifting for the soul. On Christmas Eve, unmarried Czech women stand with their back to the door and toss one of their shoes over their shoulder. If it lands with the toe facing the door, it means that they will be married within the year. However, if it lands with the heel facing the door, they'll be single for another year. Everyone needs a good pair of boots, but perhaps there is no other place where this is more true than in Germany. Each year on the evening of December 5th, German children leave a boot or shoe outside their bedroom door. When they wake up in the morning, they will find their boots or shoes filled with sweets if they've been good. If they have been bad, then they will only find a branch in them. Clearly, this is one tradition that you would not want to leave your dirtiest or stinky shoes. Some people enjoy skating during the Christmas season, and for many of us that means ice skates, but not everyone has ice near them. In the week leading up to Christmas, Venezuelans attend a daily service called Misa de Aguinaldo, which is early morning mass. In the capital of Caracas, it is customary to travel to the church on roller skates. This is so widespread that many of the roads are closed until 8 a.m. so that the skaters have safe travels to and from the service. In recent years, the tale of Krampus has been more known thanks to a few horror movies and festivals in the U.S. But in Austria, Krampus is St. Nicholas's evil counterpart. This demon-like creature has one task, which is to punish all the bad children before Christmas. Men take to the streets dressed in this devilish costume while carrying chains and a basket so they can abduct the bad children and haul them to hell. Man, that is way worse than being on Santa's naughty list. However, I'm sure that the thought of Krampus can make a lot of children behave well. Catalonia, Spain definitely has the most bizarre tradition, which is called cagatillo or defecating log. The locals in Catalonia create a character made out of a log complete with a face and a hat. Then they feed it an assortment of fruit, nuts, and sweets. On Christmas Eve, the entire family beats the log with sticks while children sing traditional songs that translate into, "If you don't crap, well, I'll beat you with a stick until you excrete the treats." I'm really surprised that this tradition hasn't caught on anywhere else. That little smiling log has it coming, and who doesn't want to beat the crap out of it? One other tradition that they like to do is decorate their nativity scenes with small pooping ceramic caganers or figurines. These are usually well-known people that are often drawn from the year's news, and the figurines always have their pants around their ankles. Nothing says the Christmas season like pooping with a reason. Now this is a tradition that you'll love. It actually has a lengthy history that began in the 11th century. Originally, it began with a man-sized goat figure that accompanied St. Nicholas, but it has now gotten a lot bigger. Cities across Sweden construct Yule goats at the beginning of Advent each year. The largest and most famous one will often reach a height of 40 feet. Unfortunately, it does attract people who want to set it on fire, and the display has been destroyed about 36 times since 1966. Christmas in Japan is not so much about religion, but rather festive fun. For them, nothing encapsulates this more than the tradition of eating KFC for their Christmas dinner. In the 1970s, KFC launched a wildly successful marketing campaign of Kentucky for Christmas, which positioned the fried chicken as the ultimate Christmas meal. Today, families all over Japan pre-order their buckets of chicken weeks in advance, and lines are out the door at all KFC locations on Christmas Eve. This may take the stress out of making Christmas dinner, but it certainly does not remove the stress of getting it. In Norway on Christmas, there is a touch of the supernatural. According to local folklore, witches and evil spirits roam freely on this night and search for brooms to steal for their midnight rides. Families protect themselves by hiding brooms and other cleaning tools, as well as adding an extra layer of precaution by praying. This is just another way of celebrating the Christmas spirit. Icelandic Christmas folklore has mischievous Yule lads, which are 13 troll-like brothers who descend from the mountains during the 13 days leading up to Christmas. Each night, a different Yule lad visits homes and leaves gifts in children's shoes. However, if you've been bad, then you're going to get a rotten potato. They all have quirky names like Spoonlicker and Doorjammer, which reflect their playful nature. Wales celebrates the Christmas season with Mary Lwyd. It is represented by a horse's skull that is mounted on top of a pole and draped in white cloth. The skull is then accompanied by a group of revelers who travel from house to house. At each stop, they engage in rhyming battles or songs with the homeowners in hopes of gaining entry. If they are successful, then they are rewarded with food and drink. The origins of this tradition predate modern Christmas, but it has been incorporated into seasonal celebrations that give a sense of joy and community during the darkest time of the year. Oaxaca, Mexico transforms Christmas into an artistic showcase with La Noche de los Rebaños, or Night of the Radishes, which is held every December 23rd. Local artists carve large radishes into decorative sculptures depicting nativity scenes, holiday icons, and cultural motifs. Crowds gather to admire the creations, and prizes are awarded for the most creative displays. This tradition combines artistry with community spirit and holiday cheer. Romania has a tradition that probably throws people off if they know nothing about it and happen to be there on Christmas Eve. Men dressed as goats called capra walk the streets accompanied by singers. The capra wear garments that are brightly colored with a wooden goat mask and sheepskin on the back. That's probably not something you'll see anywhere else. Finland has a holiday tradition that may seem a bit morbid to some, but it is really quite uplifting and beautiful. On Christmas Eve, families visit the resting places of their lost loved ones and light a candle to place on the grave. Not only does this help people remember those that they have lost, but it also transforms the cemeteries into tranquil places with incredible glimmering lights. Some people choose to walk in just to appreciate their beauty. 75% of all Finnish people take part in this festive tradition. Slovakia has an odd Christmas tradition of throwing pudding on the ceiling. The most senior member of the family will throw pudding on the ceiling, and the more that sticks, the more luck the family will have. The secret is to make the pudding as sticky as possible. Now that you have heard about some of these Christmas traditions and celebrations, do you plan on working any of these into your own? There are many ways to celebrate the Christmas season, and we have only touched on a few. What are some of your Christmas traditions? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas!